Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is the end of December 2017, and I think I'm going to combine the December video and the net worth recap video for 2017 together here. So let's jump right into it. So as of December 2017, I am 23 years old. I'm currently in school, online school, Western Governors University, for business, and so taking classes just kind of as I see fit, and just as I have time. I've already finished my degree in engineering. I actually just started a new job this month. I work at another pharmaceutical company like I did in 2013, 14, and a little bit of 15. So the job is supposed to be third shift. I'm currently just training right now. I'm training on first shift, but here any week probably I will transition to third shift, and then my full-time role will be on third shift. So don't know how that will go quite yet, but job's going pretty good so far. A lot of my experience from the previous pharmaceutical company just directly transfers over to this company. They're essentially doing the exact same thing, just at different companies. So. Yep, that's a little bit about me. A little bit about my girlfriend. So I left the last video off at, I had planned to propose. And so once I go to the next slide, you'll know whether or not she said yes or no. But she's also 23. She's a little bit older than I am, but not too much. We went to high school together, junior high together. She was in the same grade that I was in, all through, elementary school, high school, junior high. She went to a little bit bigger college than what I did. I went to a smaller college, and so she currently works for the university. So she just graduated with her degree, and then is working for the university right now. Her job is, honestly, it doesn't pay super amazing, but the benefits at her job are awesome. So they have like a 10% 401k match at her job. They give her like 40 days off a year. It's a pretty low stress job, and lots of flexibility. So she really likes it there, and she's familiar. That's the same university that she went to college at. So yeah, she's pretty happy there. When she went through school, she's significantly smarter than I am. So she got scholarships all the way through college. So she didn't have to get student loans. She worked for the university while she was going through school, but just kind of as part-time. So she didn't have to take on any student loans or anything like that. Just had scholarships and worked her way through. So yeah, that's a little bit about her. She's same age as I am, as I said. Um, just general information about kind of our area. So we live in a little bit lower cost of living area than what I would say the average is for the United States. It's definitely not like California, where houses are like $1 million for a 1,500 square foot house. Definitely not like that. But not like Virginia, where you can buy a house for like $5,000. It's somewhere between that, but slightly below the middle level. So a typical house in my area right now that's maybe 2,400 square feet would probably cost you 180,000 to 200,000, where the U.S. average, that would probably cost you close to $300,000 right now. So housing is significantly cheaper. It's not $5,000 for a house by any means, but it is quite a bit cheaper. On the downside of that, though, like, general income in my area is quite a bit less than the U.S. average. Right now, the U.S. average in 2017 is about $60,000 for income, and then in my area it's about 53,000, so maybe $7,000 less than the U.S. average. But since housing prices is literally 2/3 of the price, it makes up for it. So no complaints there. You don't make as much money, but things definitely don't cost nearly as much as they do everywhere else, especially California. Um, yeah, so my job, I started December 4th. I'm currently training. I honestly feel like I have a pretty good grasp on training and everything. It's pretty much exactly what I was doing before, just in a different role. I work in the quality assurance group now instead of operations group. So quite a bit higher up. You have to have a degree to work in quality assurance. It's not operations, so it's a little bit higher I'm using air quotes, like prestige job. It's not really as much of an entry level job. Um, you really have to know all of the like operations of the building and then be able to make like strategic decisions, and to see if they have any kind of impact. So really liking it so far. To level up, so I started as a level 2 essentially, and they have levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. Um, I don't know anybody in the company that's a level 4, but to move up to a level 3 is probably like 3 to 5 years, I'd say. And my starting pay is I make 23.80 an hour, or just about $48,000 a year. But the caveat is I'm hourly right now, which is most people when I went to orientation, everybody was freaking out that they had to clock in and clock out, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing because I've been salary for the past like year and a half at my old job, and I'm excited to clock in and out because I'll get paid for all of the overtime that I work, and my supervisor and management can see how much work I'm putting in. So I'm perfectly fine clocking in, clocking out, and yeah, so that's a little bit different, but probably 3 to 5 years is the average to move up to a level 3, and then level 4 it exists in the company, but they don't really recognize it as a position, or you must have to have like a PhD or something to become a level 4. So we'll just try to focus on level 3 as of right now, but still training on first shift. Should go to third shift here probably any day now. I think January the 5th is the day that I'm moving to third shift. So yeah, a little bit about my job, but we will kind of start the drum roll here, and you'll find out after I click this button here whether my wife said yes or said no. So yeah, so lots more information added. So I proposed in December, just before Christmas, and she said yes. So I have officially added her to the net worth tracking spreadsheet here. What an honor for her to be added. Um, but we will probably get married sometime in June of 2018, so about 6 months away. We don't really plan on doing anything too extravagant. The place that I work at has like free benefits at like a local, I don't know what it's called, but just like a local venue here in town. So we'll probably get married there, maybe 100, 150 people at the wedding, nothing too crazy. And then, yeah, go on a honeymoon in July. So yeah, I've had it added her income. I'll kind of just give a brief recap of how we got to 2017 here. So moving, I graduated. Well, both of us graduated high school in May of 2012. I got my first job in June 2012, and then she didn't start working until 2013. So she got a job at the university here, and it was really just very minimal part time, a few hours a week. But where we live, if you work for the university, they will, discount your tuition like substantially. So she only made $3,700 that year, where I made 17,000, but she probably got, 30 or $40,000 worth of tuition taken off, just for her working at that university. So that's kind of some income that you don't see on the spreadsheet, since it was a benefit for her working at the university. But she did that for the first like 3 years. So she made 3,700 in 2013. She made 2,900 in 2014, and then in 2015 she was at 5,000. So those basically 3.5 years, she's just 100% in school. And then as she became like a senior in college, she got more of like a full-time role, but still not like a full position like after you graduate. So she got bumped up to about 20,000 a year in 2016, and then she graduated this year in 2000, like late 2016. So in 2017, she hired into a full-time role. Her job it's weird. Like during 2016 through like 2017, I was getting paid weekly, which was awesome. For her, she gets paid monthly, one paycheck a month on the like 30th or the 31st of the month. So it's really, really strange. I've never been employed at a place that pays you once a month. What's even more strange is she makes no income in the month of December, but then they pay her twice in January. So she gets like a paycheck January 1st or January 2nd, and then she'll get another paycheck like January 30th or 31st. but then nothing in December. So she still makes 12, paychecks a year. It's just nothing shows in December, which is a little bit odd to me. So, but yeah, she brought in about $31,000 this year. Only paid $6,700 in taxes. So I need to figure out how she did that. She started her 401k back in 2016, and so she's just putting the bare minimum in there right now. Her company matches it's 10% to her 401k, and then they also give her 2,600 a year to her health savings account. So we really need to start that up, and that's one of our goals for 2018 is to max out her health savings account and get that $2,600 for her HSA, and then probably beef her 401k up quite a bit. So she's in her lifetime, she's contributed about $1,800 to her 401k. She's made about 62,000, and then she's taken home about 49,000. And then my totals, my career, I've more focused on. I didn't go to a as prestigious university as what she did. Um, so I focused more on just like working full time, and then I didn't. To be transparent, I was not smart enough to get scholarships or anything like that. So I had to pay my way through college, and then had my previous pharmaceutical employer pay for some of my school. So I focused more on just making money, working overtime. So I've made 174,000 so far. Paid a lot more in taxes, and put about double in my 401k. She's honestly doing really good for her 401k. And I've taken home about 131,000. So both of us combined, we've taken home about 181,000 so far, from our employers. For rental income is pretty much died down. I sold off house number 2 a couple months ago in October, and so yeah, just don't have anything coming in. And then you can see for other income, I grossed about 59,000 for selling house number 2 here. Over on the far right here is our like total gross income combined. So all this does is combine my gross income here, her gross income, and then if we make any rental income and other income, all it does is combine those through 4. And then same thing for take-home pay. It just combines my take-home pay, her take-home pay, and any other income that we have that would directly, be take-home pay. So since I'm combining everything into one here, my income for December was $4,126.01. So honestly, pretty good. That's right at a pace of like 49,000. I didn't work any overtime since I'm training, and it's Christmas, and it was a really, really weird time to be starting at a company because Christmas and New Year's wrapped into there. So I just worked straight 40 hours a week. A lot of the time, I literally just sat there at a desk, like not doing anything, just trying to hit my hours. Um, so they said I could leave early and not get paid, or I could literally just sit there for like 5 or 6 hours and get paid. So I just sat there and got paid, and then clocked out when my shift was over. So yeah, so made $4,126. That's right at like 49,000 a year. So it should be a pretty significant increase compared to 2016 and 2017. So I ended 2017 with $43,000 and should be on pace if I work no overtime. Should be on pace to make about 49 to 50,000 in 2018. But taxes that I paid were $1,132.62. The 401k I will start up January. It takes like 3-4 weeks to get started up. It's a 3% 401k match there. Yeah, so yeah, I'll definitely get that started up in January. And my goal for 2018 is to have the first year where I max that out, which is I think 18,000, maybe 500. It's either 18,000 or 18,500 for 2018. So that's my goal, is to max out my 401k next year. Take-home pay was $2,993.39. So pretty decent month. Not sure why that's doing that. There we go. Pretty decent month for December. Yeah, hopefully we have a whole lot more months like this, and hopefully we have a lot more months where I can make like double this. Like $8,000 a month would be awesome. So I kind of have a goal for myself too for 2018 to see if I can get to like 70 or 80,000. Hopefully, I don't have any issues with my management. My management, I worked with him previously at a pharmaceutical company, so I know him before. So hopefully they're fine with me working, 60, 70, 80, 100 hours a week. 100 hours a week, maybe pushing it, but right now, all I need to focus on is getting trained, and that way I can provide some value. Once I can, do the stuff I need to on my team, then I can. There's 5 or 6 other like departments in this company for quality assurance that work on third shift, so I can reach out to them, see if they need help. If they have any turnover on their team, I can volunteer. Yeah, stuff like that. So for my, I guess, fiance, I can call her now. She had no income for December. Since I explained earlier, she made 2 paychecks in January here. Um, just really quickly, her 401k, it's technically not a 401k, which I'll fix this. It's called a 403b. So since she works for a university, I guess in the tax code, it's essentially the exact same thing as a 401k, except it's classified as a 403b since I, I may be wrong on this. Since the university is a not-for-profit organization, they classify their retirement plans as a 403b, but every single aspect of it is exactly the same. The contribution limits, the early withdrawal penalties, when you can actually withdraw, all that stuff. So, um, yeah, so yeah, she has a 403b. Um, that is really it for income, I believe. I don't think there's anything else really to cover here. So we'll jump right into our net worth. So house number 2 we sold off. House number 3, okay, so we bought house number 3 in May for 190,000. Since we were not engaged or married or anything like that at the time, I had taken her down payment. I put about 26,000 down, she put about 15,000 down, so I had excluded her down payment from the purchase price of the house. So I'm now going to include that back in here. So I'm going to put it at 215,000. And that also is 3 months in a row where I've worked on the house, like done new countertops, put new showers in, stuff like that, and then not increase the value. So I'm fairly confident that it's 215,000 is pretty accurate. It's probably an underestimate, honestly. The truck is still 32,500 on the truck, and then my fiance has a 2013 Honda Fit, which she bought brand new in 2013. She just actually finished paying it off a couple months ago. I think she paid like 15,000 for it. So it's in super good shape. I think it has like 24,000 miles on it after 4 years. So it is worth 9,750. When I looked it up on Kelley Blue Book, it was just over 10,000. So I'm trying to be somewhat conservative. So I'm adding her car in that she does not have any debt on. For 401k, which is technically managed by the management company, it's at $63,047. So went down about $90 this month. The Fundrise account is still at $1,000. I have no idea how this thing works. If in 2 or 3 months, if that doesn't change at all, I'm probably going to withdraw this $1,000. I just don't understand. It doesn't fluctuate at all. It just sits there at $1,000. So not sure what's going on there. I don't know if it's because it's a new account, but for my E-Trade, which just has 3 different things in it, the Dick's Sporting Goods and the 2 like mutual funds, it is currently at 2,586. So not that it's a competition. I am currently outperforming the person that does this for a living, which most of this is in bonds. So I mean that probably explains why it's doing so bad. He needs over $100,000 to have unlimited access to all the investments. And then my fiance also has her 403b, which I'll fix this over here. 403b account. She currently has that at $4,511. So she's been getting the employer match, the 10% employer match for that. And then she's been doing that for a couple of years now. So did pretty good returns there. I'm pretty sure I need to actually look at her 403b and see what it's invested in. It may be target date retirement accounts like what it was at my first job. So I'll have to add that to the list of things to do for 2018. But 2015 truck here, I owe 15,201, and then house number 3, I owe 150,544. So we have 165,000 in debt, and it's kind of becoming more apparent to me now that I probably need to get this truck knocked out. She's not bringing any kind of car debt to the relationship, and then we have this, house number 3 that we kind of share together. So I need to, I don't know, I need to probably get this knocked out. So unfortunately, right now, cash position is just not in a super great point. So we had to replace a furnace this month, and it's down in the crawl space, which they charged quite a bit extra for the furnace because it was so difficult to get the furnace down into the crawl space. So that ended up being almost $4,000 for the new furnace. So cash right now is at $3,584.62. Her checkings account is at $7,331. So she's actually doing pretty good for cash at the moment. Rental checkings is still at just $1,000, and I'm just going to keep it there, for the long term until I buy the next rental property. So we're at just under 12,000 in cash. The only thing we have left, big expense wise, we have to get new hardware for the kitchen counter or the cabinets, which probably $50. Get some closet organizers, which may be a couple $100. Get a couple new doors for the house, which will probably be a couple $100. New blinds for the house, which will probably be $500 or $600. Closet doors, just like the bifolding closet doors, we need 2 sets of those for a couple $100. Landscaping, which should be maybe $100, and then new carpet upstairs, which will probably be $2,000. So the goal is to have this house listed probably by March of 2018. So I'm 3 months away. The main thing is the carpets, about $2,000, maybe $3,000 with installation for carpets. I'm pretty sure we can, if she pays for half and if I pay for half, I'm pretty sure we can weather all of that stuff and then, not have any kind of delays. But I'm fairly confident once all that stuff is done, it'll probably be in the realm of like 240 to 250, maybe 260. So we'll see. But we should have, buying it for 190, probably putting 10,000 into it and then selling it for let's say 240. We'll make $40,000 in about a year. So that's pretty good, minus expenses and everything. But for net worth in December is 174,565. So it's kind of a whirlwind this year. Let's see what I actually started out at. I'm going to zoom out real quick. So started the year at 113,000, and then slowly, I mean, it was like treading water here for 4 or 5 months, from 113 to 120. It took about 5-6 months to get to 120, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 or 5 months to get from 130 to 150, and then I just got hammered in November with all of that stuff. I sold the house, bought the wedding ring. Had issues with the pool, had to pay for school, pay for new countertops. But then adding in my fiance stuff here, it looks like without mine, so if I was at 140, she would have been about 34,000. So we added her $34,000 net worth into mine. So we ended the year with 174, which is about a $60,000 increase this year. Not the greatest, honestly. I was hoping for maybe 80,000 to 90,000. I'm not disappointed with 60, 65,000. It's not a bad year. Reflecting back, I would say the income is probably what killed me the most. A lot of weeks I work 60, 65, 70 hours a week. There were some times I had to merchandise stores at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then hit my whole entire sales route, and then had some accounts that wouldn't let me take orders until 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and then having to go in on the weekends, and then not getting paid for any of that time, and then only making 38 to 39,000 a year at the old position. So I would say in 2017, that was really the thing, just like it was in the previous years. I need to get my income up higher. I need a bigger shovel to move dirt with. Um, so I think I'm fairly confident I've done that. There's pretty good growth opportunity in the company that I've hired on. There's currently about 1,000 employees there, but very, very rapid growing company. It's just been a local. It's in the same town that I live in right now too. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how much I can make in 2018. I'm excited to get house number 3 sold here. I think there's $40,000 there that I can make. There's maybe $60,000, $70,000 I can make at my new job. Um, with my fiance, let's jump back to income here. I think she can probably gross 32 to 35,000 in 2018. So I think there's quite a bit of opportunity. If you add up 70,000 plus 30,000 plus the 40,000, that's another 140, 150,000 for next year. And I think a lot of that will just go directly to our net worth. So I'd love to see, 250,000 to maybe $300,000 net worth by December 2018 would kind of be the goal. But in terms of the goal pace, I'll just finish filling everything out here. Goal pace is I'm now plus 16,226. So these last 3 months I was plus 10,000, minus 10,000, and back to plus 16,000. So we have to keep saving about $8,000 a month towards our net worth. And that can be either paying down debt, that can be putting money towards cash, that can be investments going up in value, or even assets going up in value up here. So yeah, if I do the math, I think that's 96,000. So I would need to end 2018 at about 275,000 to keep pace, maybe 270,000 to keep pace by becoming a millionaire by the age of 30. So just real quick, I'm going to kind of reflect back on my goals. What I've got my sights set on for 2018. So number one, I've got to work some crazy overtime if they let me do it. I've got to become as proficient as I possibly can in my current job, and then get to the point where I can volunteer for other people, other positions, not like other opportunities in other groups, just to like work my job and maybe come in early and work for them as well. So hopefully I'm able to work a ton of overtime in 2018, and I'm ready to do that. Number two, I have to finish school. Um, doing, fixing up a house, getting married, starting a new job, working 70, 80 hours a week, um, and doing school all at the same time. I need to, take things off my plate every once in a while. Thankfully, with the school that I'm going to, I can take as many credit hours as I want. Um, so there's some people that graduate like within one semester, like they take 32 classes a semester, and it's kind of like you can go at your own pace. So like if I took a class on pharmaceuticals, I could maybe test out of that class immediately and spend 2 or 3 days on it versus take 6 months to pass that class. But I've got to knock school out and get school done, hopefully in 2018. That way I can, focus most of my efforts on working more overtime and bringing in money. So goal number 3 is to sell house number 3. Here in a couple months, I should have house number 3 pretty much wrapped up. Unfortunately, if I sell house number 3, I have no place to live. So goal number 4 is I need to buy house number 4. And yeah, so I'll have to figure out the down payment situation there. I'll have to, yeah, so quite a bit of work there. I'll have to start looking. I think I'm going to do the same thing again. I think we'll move up in house a little bit. The location of our house is good, but it's not like in a nice neighborhood or anything. So I think I'll look for a smaller house in 2018, but in a nicer area, maybe a little bit closer to my new job as well. But same kind of situation. I'm looking for stuff that's like wallpaper, distress, like cosmetically. I want the foundation to be good. I want the roof to be good, the furnace and the air conditioner to be good. Yeah, so just things that look ugly, because I can fix ugly. I can, rip up carpet. I can put in wood floors. I can paint stuff. So that's exactly what I'm looking for again in 2018. But I've got to sell house number 3, and then before I even sell house number 3, I have to find house number 4. That way we're not homeless and don't have a place to live. So I have to do all of that before May, preferably April or May. Then the last goal for the year is to max out my 401k and probably get pretty close to maxing out my fiance's 401k and her health savings account. So that's not something I focused on a whole lot before, since I needed to purchase real estate and needed a place to live. But now that I've got that ball rolling, I feel I can dial back some of the cash that I'm bringing in, and then take the opportunity to max out my 401k. And if I end up making 60 or 70,000, I need to think about taxes as well. So if I put my money in a 401k and have her put her money in her 403b and her HSA, then I can, if I do a traditional, I can probably lower my tax burden that I have with those two. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But that'll be the last goal for 2018, max out those 401ks, 403bs, and HSA accounts. So yeah, that's 2017 in a nutshell. So thank you all for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Last month's and next month's videos are on your screen now. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or things you'd like to see me include in future videos, just comment them down below. Thanks everyone for watching. See you in the next video.